This is a transformer. I've already marked it. Let's modify it a bit. Use an angle grinder to cut it in half along the marked lines. Use this grinding wheel to cut things. You must wear safety glasses. It's safer that way. See, it's easily in two halves. The resistance of this lump gets smaller. The effect will be better. Power the coil with the experimental power supply. It will become an electromagnet. Let's try it. It actually works. It's holding on pretty tight. See? It won't budge even with a light touch. The coil generates a magnetic field and magnetizes the core in the process. The principle is that simple. Can it be stronger? This is the transformer from a microwave oven. It's a bit bigger. Look, there are many fine ones. This is the secondary coil. It's the output of the transformer. Thicker ones. This is the primary coil for input. I measured the resistance of the primary coil. Only EO. It's perfect for making an electromagnet. It also needs to be cut open. See, it originally had a weld line. Here. First, use an angle grinder to slightly cut the welding points. Then, use a screwdriver to align with the gap. Gently pry and it's done. So flat. Much easier to handle than the smaller one just now. Shake it. Take out the primary coil first. Have a look. Very complete and beautiful. Continue to knock out this middle partition. Slowly pry out the exciting coil. A little slower. Don't scatter it. It will be useful in the future. Is it that tight? This thing won't work without some effort. It's a magic with a horizontal pinch trick. It's still a bit scattered. No big deal. Ignore it for now. This iron core is still very good. It's not a whole piece either. Use argon arc welding to simply strengthen it. Also added a handle to it. For easy testing of magnetic force. Use the sawing machine to remove the excess parts. It's stuck, it's not the network. It's the saw blade being pulled out. Let's see first. This iron core is made up of many silicon steel sheets. It will fall apart once it's sawed. The deformation jammed the saw blade. I can only clamp it with a mechanical clamp to hold it together first. Finally, it's okay. Perfectly solved the problem. Put its primary coil back in. Let's take a look. A powerful electromagnet is done. We still need to test this puller a bit. The maximum measurement is 300 kilograms. The weight of this I-beam below is about 25 kilograms. Tie it up and pull it up. See if it can handle it. It's already completely off the ground. See? No problem at all. This challenge is not difficult at all. The I-beam is directly tied to the car's tail. The dynamometer is in the middle, connected to the chain hoist. Finally, it's tied to a sturdy steel column. It should be possible to test how strong it ultimately is. Now start pulling it until the electromagnet is pulled off. It's 130 kilograms. It hasn't dropped off yet. Keep going. Almost 200. 280 kilograms already. It still hasn't dropped. Is it that strong? Oh, it's not working anymore. Off the charts. The 300 kilograms dynamometer limit isn't even the magnet's limit. What can it do with such strong suction? Even with two missing transformers, it's still perfect. Let's use these two to make an electromagnet. Remove the primary coils. Cut the part of the iron core. Put it on the drill press. Compare the position. If it closes in the middle, it won't work. Drilling holes will damage the electromagnet below. Separate a distance. Add a round tube in the middle to make a hole. Now it can rotate freely. The electromagnet is unaffected. Measure the overall length and width. Prepare 50 by 50 angle steel. Process on a sawing machine to the measured dimensions. Too long, too short. As the main frame of the electromagnet. Drill for holes on one long side. To facilitate the threading of electrical wires. Use the initial I-beam as an aid. Bring the iron cores close and align them. Make sure to fix them in a straight line. Change an iron sheet. Fix the round track in the middle. To avoid displacement, use argon arc welding to weld them into a hole. It's already firmly bound together. Checked with a steel ruler. Very flat. Now put the short side frame in place. Secure and weld firmly. Continue to place the long side frame and weld firmly. Use an angle grinder to smooth out the weld beads on the top and bottom surfaces. Machine the screw holes for mounting on the drill press. Apply marking fluid to the surface. Prevent areas from being missed during the cleaning and removal process. Run the CNC machine across the surface completely. Not too much is needed. Just remove a thin layer if possible. It's flat now. It can't be flatter. Place a steel ruler on it. See that? Absolutely perfect. The main frame is done. There's still so much space in the middle. It all needs to be filled with resin. How much do I need? Borrowed some rice from a friend to calculate the amount. Just pour it in to fill it up. Haven't installed the primary coil yet. Just to add some extra. Filled it up. Now take the frame off. Clean it up a bit. Put it together and measured it. About 1000 milliliters. Use sandpaper to remove the insulation from the wire ends. Add an extension wire. Wrap a heat shrink tube. Then heat it with a lighter. Install the 4 terminals to the pre-processed holes. Tighten the nuts. Then press the primary coil in. Solder the power cord. It doesn't matter if you solder it thicker. Flip it over. Apply silicone to the bottom. The round tube in the middle should also be sealed. Cover with an acrylic sheet for sealing. Press again. Make sure the adhesive is in place. Glue the round tube of the same diameter to protrude from the surface. Grind the glue, preventing twigs from getting in. Apply another ring of glue around the edges. When it comes to epoxy resin, it can be 1 to 2 centimeters higher than the reference surface. Leave some allowance for curing shrinkage. Cut some metal mesh down. Place it in the weak areas to increase strength. Open the epoxy resin. Slowly pour it into the stainless steel graduated basin. It's better to stir slowly. Add the hardener according to the instructions. Stir, stir, and mix well. Then add some colorant. Stir evenly. Make it look better. Hold steady. Pour in the epoxy resin. Maintain a constant speed. Slowly pour it up from the lowest point. This way, the number of bubbles can be kept to a minimum. See that? It's still quite accurate. Only a little bit more. The internal air is also slowly coming out. Just wait overnight. Let it solidify. Why are there cracks? Maybe the internal resin thickness is different, caused by uneven shrinkage during solidification. The solution is also simple. Readjust a bit. Slowly fill the gaps. It's rock solid after 48 hours. The mold can be removed. Remove the round tube. Then knock off the acrylic sheet on the bottom. Take it easy. Don't break it. It's really stuck. Finally broke it. Tear off the surrounding tape. Go to the outdoors for the operation. Use a handheld belt sander to smooth the surface of the branches. It's still very rough now. Look at these streaks. Use a flat sander with fine sandpaper for the entire surface. Grind until the original flat metal surface is exposed. Protect the surface of the suction cup with tape. Remove the excess, the exposed area. Carefully spray on yellow top coat. Cover the unsightly areas. Over a week, the main body of the electromagnet is done. Prepare the junction box. Waterproof connector. Leave it on. A flow switch. Install it on the side. Prepare a computer power supply. Add a Schottky diode for added safety. Finally, add a signal indicator light. Connect the circuit diagram. Like this, tighten the screws. Stick it to the side of the lathe switch to easily control the two electromagnets connected in series. Plug in the power cord. Add a cover to prevent iron filings from machining. Place the drill press with fixing screws. Place a flat steel bar for it. Turn on the switch and see. It's holding on tight. When I shake it sideways, the platform moves with it. Let's test this suction power. I can't budge it even with some force. Let's try the foot again. Just now, let's see how this thing opens. It moved very easily. This won't work. I bought a roll of non-slip tape. The surface is as rough as sand. Tear off 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers of the film. Just enough to cover it. Still testing with the angle steel. Turn it on. Oh, the effect is obvious. See that? The platform is moving together. It's completely different compared to before. Now, with a drill bit, place the angle steel on a single electromagnet. Turn it on and drill it. If it works for a single car, it will be even less of a problem with 2 cars together. Yep, doesn't budge. See that? Very stable. And the iron filings won't fly everywhere. Because the transformer core is made of silicon steel, it will disappear immediately when the power is turned off. So, heating the iron filings won't magnetize them. Easy to clean. Just a few taps and it's clean.